Hey, what's up? It's Brian Scalabrine, the White Mamba, also 2008 World Champion Boston Celtics. Now, you're listening to the Boston Big Three podcast presented by Ride the Wave Media.
Brandon producing the shows now makes my life substantially easier. I'm just like, oh my God.
Brendan is a complete MVP, and it's very sad that he is not on this episode. But we have a special guest this episode, so it's all good.
Episode 32 of Boston's Big Three. We like we said, we are missing Brandon today. It is myself, Ty, Spike King, Joe Stafford, and one and only Roondog. How are you, man? Wait, this is your debut on Boston's Big Three. I didn't piece that together.
It's been way too long. I should have been on the show months ago, but it's about time that I got on the show. But it would have started off with some breaking news that the 2-minute drill posted today. And it's the Spiking. If you want to elaborate a little bit on that news, and then we'll both collab on that information.
Before we get into that, 10100 is a sponsor of today's show. Like every episode, they're the only online raffle website giving fans and experience seekers the chance to win tickets to live sporting events, concerts, music festivals, and more. Whether it be from your desktop or mobile device, winning tickets to your favorite event has never been so easy and fun. Choose your desired event, purchase a raffle ticket into the draw, and you can be the lucky winner. The newest raffle we have is if this breaking news is false and you want to line up and just throw Rotten Tomatoes at Babs and Roondog. So you go to 1-100, it's a $5 ticket, and then buy 5 tickets, you get 5 tomatoes or something. But breaking news today in the Ride the Wave media world.
You don't seem so excited about it. You do not seem excited about it. You are very hesitant. You and Stafford.
Weary about
this is like a tag team match. I had to bring.
What do you mean me? I haven't said anything about it yet.
No, because you came out when we said this. You said if we get this wrong again, third time we're fucked. It makes us.
Well, is that not true? Is that like?
Nope, it's not true.
Of course, that's true. You're telling me if you're telling me if it was false, it wouldn't look bad for us. Of course it would. What are you talking about right now?
Hey, Stafford, what's bigger? A jersey that the Patriots are going to wear, or someone retiring from the NFL?
Retire from the NFL.
All right, so we got this right this time
but
around.
If both wrong,
we learned from
but if we fumble that bag, then
no, we're not fumbling this one. This is why this is it. You can tell that Roondog's new on this podcast because he just wanted to jump right in. We got to get our sponsor first with 1-100, okay? 1-100.co.
keep the lights on.
So. Today's been a wild day. I'm celebrating. Remember last time I was on the podcast and I was celebrating with my Bud Lattes? I got my Bud Lattes out here. Listen, 2-minute drill in Spiking. He's got a little behind the scenes there. Right here, number 61, Marcus Cannon. We got the inside information that he will be retiring from the NFL this upcoming season. Let me explain it. The Spike King has his little sources in one area. I get a lot of people chirping. You guys don't know anybody. You guys don't do anything. We're not journalists. We're not here to break news. How many times has Ride the Wave tried to break news over the last year that they've existed? Probably 3 or 4 times. All we are is, yes, we are fans of the game, but how are we not a little credible? You see yesterday Spike King with Isaiah Wynn. You see Spike King out there at the Hall of Fame with Ty Law. You see Spike King with Dietrich Weiss and down there. But there's a lot of other people that we know that are involved with the organization of the Patriots, also Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox. We have those ins. If we hear something and we put it together and we think it's substantial, we're going to post it. That's what we did with Jersey Gate. And I want to explain that really quick. Again, we thought we had something there. We posted about it. You're giggling, Stafford. You're giggling about it. But Jersey Gate, we put that out there. Guess what? Yeah, didn't work our way. It's a fucking jersey. But you know what? We're not journalists. We put it out there. And you know what? We showed excitement about it. We got people talking about it. We got people saying, hey, Patriots, you got to make a change. We want to see those jerseys. And it's kind of unfortunate because I absolutely know Tom Brady's not coming back next season, that Brady will never wear one of those throwback jerseys for the Royal Blues. But moving on. I had my little source. Who do I go to? I go to the 2-minute drill. That's why we bring Roondog on here. For those who are unaware, the 2-minute drill is a subsidiary account to Ride the Wave Media, and they're all about the NFL. They cover everything NFL. Roondog has his own sources on his side as well, too. I take mine. I talk to him. He talks to his. We go back and forth. We send each other little messages. We understand it. Bada bing, bada boom. We were told that Marcus Cannon's going to retire. Now, Babs, how do you know all this other information? Well, let me say this. Marcus Cannon, it's not official, but he sold his house in Mansfield, or he moved out of Mansfield. He moved back down to Texas. That's where he's originally from, and he's on a reservation right now. And he's 100% gone. I was told from my source, he's 100% gone. Now, according to Roondog's source, and listen, when we talk about sources, you're not revealing sources, right, Roondog? You remember we talked about this? Talk about the sources thing for a second. Just talk about, to the people at home listening, how sources work.
The thing that bothers me is all those people that wanted to talk crap about the Marcus Cannon thing today. They said, who's your source? You don't have a source. But there's one thing that people don't realize is you never reveal who your source is, because then you're never going to get information ever again. And my person that I talked to today had the same information that Babs had, and we collaborated what he talked about. And like, I'm actually 99.9% sure Marcus Cannon's going to retire. His contract at like $9 million against the cap. He's 31. He's getting up there in age. He's had so many injuries. Patriots going to cut him. Dante retired. Good time to call it quits.
And let me go off on that as well, too. The fact that I had my source, which is completely different from yours, like it's like two different worlds, and we both know that, and these other guys know that on this podcast as well, too. Two different worlds that both had something very, very similar. There's no connection in between them either, which is the crazy thing. And I will go out right now and say this Marcus Cannon retirement is, in terms of better sources than we had for the jersey thing. Because guess again, last August, we built ourselves up over the last couple of months to get more and more information out there. So I want to just say this too. You know, again, the sources thing, you know, who's the source? We're the source. We are the source. We know what's going on. And you can never reveal sources. Same thing like Doug Kyde. Is that his name? Kyde? Rhyme? Kyde? I don't know his name. But listen, he's going to be like, my sources say. Who the fuck is your sources? You guys out there are only going to believe him because he has a blue check mark and he works for Nesson.
This is the funniest thing about the whole...
Motherfucking Ride the Wave is better than Nesson. I'm telling you that right now. We have more inside information than Nesson does. You're going to believe... Now, if Mike Reese came out, which... Great point by Roondog earlier. Mike Reese shut down Jersey Gate right away. The second that he got a sniff of it, he's like, that's not happening. Today, he goes... it's not definitive of what Marcus Cannon's doing. So there's something there. And I'm going to tell everybody out there right now, the Marcus Cannon thing is nothing new. If you're an insider to the Patriots beat writers and you know what's going on, it's probably been out there. They probably know about it. Here's the reason why it's not released, and here's the reason why we release it. We release it because we're not journalists. We just tell you what we hear. We're also not going to lose our credentials to the Patriots because we have no credentials to the Patriots. We just know people, we work with people, and we're still inside that stadium no matter what. If you go out there today and said, hey, Marcus Cannon's retiring, and you have a blue check mark and you work for the Boston Globe or Nesson or NBC Sports Boston, you are going to lose your job because the Patriots are going to be upset that you're releasing that information. Marcus Cannon's probably going to be upset you're releasing that information, especially right now where Tom Brady is heading into free agency and his O-line's already depleted as is, and they're going to have everyone start coming out and talking about it. So you have to understand that way. We have nothing to lose and everything to gain. The beat writers out there that already know about this information, and Mike Reese, who already knows about this information, who never denied it, has more to lose out there if he goes out there and agrees. And also, don't make that face, Stafford, you idiot.
Yeah,
also,
30 minutes later.
Also, Mike Reese is not going to go out there and be like, yep, 2-minute drill called it. Marcus Cannon's retiring. What's going to happen is, and what's funny is, this happened yesterday. I tied it in with Roondog, and I do my research. I Google Marcus Cannon because I have to study his, his stats, look up his
know what he looks like.
Know what he looks like, know what number he wears. I clicked news. Mark Daniels, a beat writer for the Patriots, a Providence Journal, yesterday ProvidenceJournal.com, Providence, whatever his fucking website is. But he is a beat writer, and he goes down there to Gillette Stadium. Was talking about the Patriots O-line. The first thing in the first paragraph, he mentions Marcus Cannon possibly getting cut from the New England Patriots. Marcus Cannon has 2 more years left on the Patriots. Why are you talking about him getting cut right away like that? So it just shows me that they're going to start releasing information here and there. They're going to start putting it out there here and there until it's actually confirmed from this guy right here, number 61, that he actually is retiring, because this is what's going to end up happening. They're going to cut him. They're going to save $5.2 million, and he doesn't have to retire right away. He might get an offer from the Dallas Cowboys for an absurd amount of money, which is not going to happen. But he's going to get an offer that he can't refuse, and he comes back and plays. But that's not happening. From what I was told, he's 100% done with the NFL. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion. That's it. He goes back to Texas. I will say this. It's just funny that Reese didn't deny it. Doug denies it. He's just weeping. Our source on Roondog's side says, quote unquote, Doug weeps. And I said, I cannot wait till Cannon actually retires. It's not happening today. It's not happening tomorrow. It could take a couple months. It's going to happen eventually. The second he gets cut, that's kind of like the known that, like, all right, he's on his way out.
Oh, why are you speaking in a tornado? What just happened?
I fixed it right there.
Oh my goodness, dude! It
Oh,
sounded like you were
wow.
recording.
I was going on.
No, you blew out your mic.
The tornado. I'm just so.
It sounded like you were recording on the inside of a dryer.
I'm just so fed up about everything that's going on today.
The biggest takeaway I got from this is that Ride the Wave Media is responsible for Tom Brady not resigning with the Patriots because Marcus Cannon's retired, and that makes everyone unhappy. Wow. I mean, you just hate to see it. You just hate to see it.
Another thing, though,
Spike King hates Brady. Wow.
The reason why I buy this Cannon news also, I really do buy it. I just want to make sure that we're not, tripping over ourselves and making another fake story. But basically, Marcus Cannon, he's a weird guy. Kind of an odd guy. Doesn't have any social media. Kind of keeps to himself. Doesn't really party with the other Patriots. He's in Texas right now on a reservation. That is literally the perfect spot for Marcus Cannon, like geographically for everything. He's from there. It makes a lot of sense. He's been injured a lot. 3-time Super Bowl champion. He's 31. The Patriots might cut him. Like, a lot of these things are adding up. So I really don't understand why people are questioning it as much as they are. Is it because we broke it? Probably. But the factors still line up for him retiring and him leaving the Patriots.
Dude, this is the funny thing is, like, people acting like we came out and said Tom Brady is retiring. It's like Roondog and Spike King gets these news that Tom Brady's retiring. And then you have all these little accounts. These are what people are making such a big deal about. It's Marcus Cannon, the right tackle for the New England Patriots. And it's a low-profile name. Like, yeah, he starts, but he gets hurt probably 3 games a year. Had one upside in 2014, 2015, whatever. But, like, people are saying, like, it's such a high-profile guy when it's really not. But it's just because it's Ride the Wave Media and it's the Spike King. We break news, we put it out there, but it's such a big deal right now.
And I get why people are upset. We obviously got the jersey thing wrong. It didn't work out in our favor. But, again, that's a jersey that we just reported, hey, it's going to be out there. Got shut down, and then we played around with it. And then what was the other thing that the ticket gate? Like you Tyler Miller's trying to hold ticket gate over my head. You know what?
I'm not. That's literally what I already said. I said, I understand what happened. The general public does not understand what happened because they don't want to change their opinion. They see it didn't happen. They already yell at you, and they can't say, "Oh, I shouldn't have yelled at you. It was a common mistake that you had nothing to do." In their people's eyes and your followers' eyes, you're 0 for 2 so far. So, if you go over 3 strikes, you're out, dude. That's the thing I'm worried about.
Tattoo right there.
I got the Super Bowl tattoo. Although
I'm the other arm, dude.
I'm batting 500. Oh yeah. Well, how about the taco tattoo? I mean, dude, the guy was an all-star yesterday at the dunk contest. He's all over. That's news for later. But the whole point of the story is that we do have a little insight in different areas. Roondog's guy I love his guy. I know who he is. And obviously, and here's the thing: we're not revealing sources. We're not putting people's names out there because we're absolutely not going to be that dumb about it.
Yeah,
I also love the trolls too because it means we're building something important or special. We have a pretty big following now, or relatively big following now. And the fact that we have these people on our pages trying to like tear us down makes me think we're doing something right. It also kind of fires me up too, because like, what the fuck do you know? Like, you're a fan account.
The funniest part about this, hold on, is when you told Caden to just stop talking.
Oh, he needs to shut up.
Dude,
No,
what are we
that
doing
kid,
here?
and that's teamwork with me and Roondog, because Roondog's looking at him like Caden's just. I like it, Caden. You're defending the wall. I know what you're trying to do. You have good intentions, but just shut the fuck up. Stop being like it's Ride the Wave's the source. Ride the Wave has this. Ride the Wave. Shut up, dude. Just let it play out. That's it.
Dude, he kept commenting too.
I think you made him cry
like,
for that,
like,
honestly.
Trust Ride the Wave. Trust Ride the Wave. I was like, dude, shut the fuck up, dude. 2-minute drill is part of Ride the Wave, you idiot, and you work for Ride the Wave. Like, put it together, man.
Yeah, he responded like 12 times in like one thread. I'm like, why? Like, why are you even like spending your time doing this? Like, probably something better to do, right? Like, I don't understand.
No, but
My
I will
favorite
just say,
that Caden does, hold up, Caden, like, if you're listening to this, I don't know if you do or not, but like, he just always flexes how he's getting like likes by like hot girls' Instagram pages and stuff like that. And it makes me laugh quite literally every single time. Like, it is so funny.
Give the kid a break. He's young still.
It's the move. It's so funny.
but here's another thing about us too, is that we're not going out and bothering players or bothering the organization.
Besides
we're not going.
Terry Rozier.
Except Terry Rozier, yeah, screw him. But we're not going out. But I'm saying in the sense we're not going out there and bothering everybody like, hey, give me your take. Hey, what's going on with this? Hey, what's going on with that? We're just being fed every so often. We get fed information here and there. Here's an example right now, and I'm gonna say it here because if you're listening to the podcast, this is a special Easter egg bonus. And I was told that Hightower is not in love with football anymore. That Hightower was very mad about last season because the offense wasn't producing. Hightower has one more year left on his contract, and what it sounds like is if Hightower doesn't care, he's out of here in the sense that he might retire next season. Now, I talked to
That
Roondog.
changes if we win, though. I think that really does change if we win.
So I talked to Roondog about this off camera and off audio, whatever you want to listen to or watch.
No record.
And I just had no record on that. We're not going out there publicly about the Hightower thing. Now, me just doing that publicly now because it's going to get posted. And whatever, if I get shamed, I get shamed. I don't care. The whole Hightower situation is this. He's got $11 million in cap space this year, a $2.5 million dead. So that means if they cut him, they only have to pay $2.5. But we both agree Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick would never get rid of Hightower. Now, he's got his little baby boom coming his way this year. He's going to want to play for that extra $11 million. But then when he hits free agency, he might just say, you know what, I'm hitting the dad life. Because Hightower is going to be a Patriot Hall of Famer one day. Not the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but he's going to have a lot to do with the organization going forward. I don't see them cutting him. But it just shows that this team right now, and I said this right after the Tennessee game. I was right down there inside the little area where everyone's eating and talking. They said that there was going to be a 40% to 60% turnover coming up next season, and you're kind of seeing it because if Brady does not come back and he walks away, a lot of these other guys are just going to walk away from the team as well too. Those fringe guys that are there, and I want to say. I'm sorry. And I just want to say, too, great take today was that if Cannon does get cut, you have $5 million. They could use that money to keep Joe Thuney going forward as well.
Do you think that Hightower is going to be a Patriot Hall of Famer?
Yeah, I 100% because of Super Bowl 51, and he was exactly the turning point to get that.
You can't retire Wait, do the Patriots retire numbers?
No, they don't retire numbers.
They do. We have 5 numbers retired, 5 or 6.
But yeah, they're not like the Boston Celtics where they just retire every single number out there. Like this guy back here.
We'll get to that.
We'll get that later. They don't do that. And I believe that the Patriots are a better story franchise than the Boston Celtics. But listen, that's later on. I will say this. Hightower will end up becoming a Patriots Hall of Famer. He gets involved with the Patriots alumni. He does things around the community. They're going to retire him like as an individual.
Roondog, why are you shaking your head? Like, what is against Hightower getting into the Patriots Hall of Fame?
Dude, he's only made one big sack in the playoffs. He did do good last year in the Rams, But like, dude, you got to put up those season stats too. That shows, okay, this guy
Without Dante Hightower, Marshawn Lynch scores a touchdown. Like, people don't talk about the play before Malcolm Butler. He tackles him with his left shoulder.
So you're gonna put him in the Patriots Hall of Fame for 3 tackles.
Hey, here's the word right here. Here's the word you need to know. Hey, here's the word.
I don't know.
Here's the word. One word. Captain. Just like Jason
He was the
Varitek.
dot
Captain.
guy. He was
Captain.
literally the dot guy.
And here's another thing too. They didn't have Hightower for Super Bowl 52. Gave up 41 points. That's a big miss. If they didn't have him for that stretch of the season, I think the defense would have did a little bit better on certain adjustments.
He's been the anchor of this defense for years and years and years. He's been the glue guy that kept everything going smoothly. That guy who just sits in the middle of the defense and knows what to do, and everybody looks to him to follow. He's a captain for a reason. He took Teddy Bruschi's locker. That means something. He took his number too. That's a very, very big. No, it's actually they think about this when they assign the lockers and stuff. Like, who is like in the best position to lead this team? They put them all in the same lockers, and he got Bruschi's locker. That's a big deal.
And he has the coolest name on the team. A lot of cool names going around. Dante Hightower is phenomenal.
But it just goes to show you that we have that little tidbit of information. Now, we're not going out there. We are in the podcast because it's very exclusive right there. But we're not going out there because I don't think they're going to get rid of him. But it should show that his heart's not in it anymore and he's on his way out. So it's just another thing that Ride the Wave has there.
And another thing real quick before you continue with that is that Hightower went from playing in Alabama to Nick Saban, playing more college football games than anything. And then having to go to Bill Belichick's defense. Dude, like, that's crazy. Like, the amount of time that this dude has to put in with the 2 hardest coaches in the whole.
I think Saban coaching him at Bama actually helped him play better for Belichick because they're very similar coaching styles, similar demeanors. Yeah. And I think it really helped, like, playing for almost a Bill Belichick clone. They coached together in Cleveland before. They know how each other's mind works, and they coach very similar.
But what Roondog is saying, that it's the longevity of his career. It's like you have been playing for the NFL 4 years prior to, or 3 years or 2 years prior to even coming to the NFL. So it adds on top of that. So right now he's already a 3-time champ. He's just already getting burnt out in a way of, like, especially after last season, you're still coming off the loss. It's only February and we're only a couple weeks removed from the Super Bowl. We're only 1 month removed from the Pats actually losing.
Did we put a timestamp on when Cannon's going to retire? Did we say before this season?
No, there's no timestamp.
All right, that's perfect, dude. Because whenever he retires, we're just like, yeah.
But here's the
Cannon retired at 40, and it's like the 2-minute drill had it first.
But
dude.
yes, there's no
36. Marcus Cannon retired.
There's no timestamp because if you just go out there right now as a beat writer and they have this information. I'm telling the people listening, they have this information. They've had this information. They're just waiting from hearing from the man, and it's one of those things that 5 beat writers might have this information for the Patriots. It's whoever gets that actual confirmation first that puts it out there at the right time, because they're not going. What's going to end up happening is free agency is going to come. They're going to cut Cannon. See you later. And then everyone kind of going to, because there are some tweets I saw that people like, they should just cut him anyways. They should just get rid of him. They should move on from Marcus Cannon. But they're going to cut him, and then he's going to be sitting in his ranch in Texas. He could be waiting till July and just being like, you know what, I'm officially retiring, and quietly doing it because, like Stafford said, he's not like a social media guy. He's just, it's just exactly what he's doing. He's in Texas. He's just hanging out. And that's the thing that's going to hurt Ride the Wave maybe, because it's just like, oh, he got cut, but he never retired. He never put his papers in. It's like, dude, he's gone. It's over with Cannon. If anything, it should just show that they're moving on from the right tackle, and he's not going to be there next season. He will not be in the New England Patriots next season.
Gronk never turned in his papers either, man. It's just one of those things.
Marcus Cannon going to return in 2023.
But hold on a second. That's a little bit different, though, because Gronk and Marcus Cannon are very different personalities. Gronk just lives on social media. That kid just thrives on social media. And, of course, he wanted to drag it out to what am I looking for? Attract other interests towards his other ventures, like the CBD companies involved in now. Gronk Beach. He's like doing all this stuff just to get clout, and it's working. But Marcus Cannon is not Gronk. He's not anywhere near the following that Gronk does.
Marcus Cannon trying to relive that Uncle Phil phase of his life, dude.
The real Uncle Phil, I miss him. I really do.
If you are Tom Brady, and Marcus Cannon, a 3-time Super Bowl champion, he's been there for the last 3 for you right there. And you got guys like Tooney and that you might lose in free agency. Ted Karras, who stepped up this year at center. You don't even know David Andrews. It's so questionable, right? Everyone just figures David Andrews is coming back. And we hope that he comes back. We're not rooting against him, but it's just so questionable. Isaiah Wynn, who's been pretty much hurt his entire time
very
here.
Well down the stretch, though. I was a big fan of his last year.
Hopefully he stays healthy, but that's another question mark there. You don't know what you're going to have on that offensive line. And then Kajus, is that his name? Kajus, the one that they got last year. Yeah. You don't know what you're going to get out of that. If you're Tom Brady, you're 43 years old heading into this year. You need, and you don't have Scarnecchia, which is huge too. You have no idea how that line's going to produce for you. If I'm Tom Brady, I am out of there because you don't know what your protection is. And I just say that in the recent memory bias that Tom Brady kept promoting all the time. Super Bowl 53, that whole run that year. Look at my jersey. I have no grass stains on it. That's what Tom Brady's going to look for. And that's why I think this news is a little bit big because it's like you're losing another piece on that offensive line. I don't care about the weapons and wide receivers, and you got to care about who's protecting Brady. And I will say this, and adding on top of that, another Easter egg, another source that we have, because I don't want to say his name because then he'll probably get really mad at me if I say his name. But Roondog knows this. The Patriots are considering changing their jerseys next year. Like they're going to have brand new jerseys going into next year. We're not going to announce it. We're not going to put it out there because this person, this individual that has it, that's going to be his big thing if it actually comes true, that they're working on it right now inside the stadium and they're redesigning jerseys. Think about this. It's when Tom Brady was drafted, his first year in 2000, I believe in 2000, they still had the Royal throwbacks, right?
No.
No,
they stopped in
like
98 or 99.
Right, like right when Tom Brady came in, they changed the jersey. The jerseys that they wear pretty much is what I'm trying to say is the jerseys they wear right now, that's Tom Brady's jersey. Whatever jerseys they've had, it's the Tom Brady era. It's like almost like they're getting ready for the next era for the New England Patriots, and they're kind of going to switch things up. And I just want to say that's out there as well, too.
The Stidham era.
No, but if I am Tom Brady and I'm looking at this line, the situation, people don't understand how big of a loss Scar is. When he came in and replaced Dave DeGuglielmo, the offensive line coach before, who actually happens to be my cousin, if you guys didn't know. He's like my second cousin removed, something like that, which is kind of funny. Yeah, but no, he's like not good at his job. Doesn't really matter. But anyway, Scar comes in, changes the entire culture on the offensive line. It's the reason why we got those last two Super Bowls, in my view. But if I'm Tom Brady, 43 years old, this line, David Andrews has Chris Bosh disease. Like, I don't think he's going to come back from that. Joe Thuney's about to leave in free agency and get paid. We can't afford to pay him, especially if we're giving Tom Brady mid-20s millions in value. I don't really see the pieces coming together for that thing. And I really don't. If I'm Tom Brady, I don't want to come back to this situation.
And it's not that, the Pats, and we'll get into this in a couple seconds when Tyler ever wants to transition over, is that the Pats are going to have to start adding O-line pieces. They might have to do a first-round draft pick for an O-line piece, and it's too young, and it's just like something that I don't think that Brady can be like, I don't trust it yet, where you can go to a team like the Vegas Raiders and know what their O-line is and you know what they're going to be able to produce and know what you can end up picking out there in free agency and slide that piece in, and you'll be set for at least 2 years. I don't think Brady wants that gamble.
Too. I just want to say to all the haters out there, fuck you. I've had so many clowns just come to me saying, oh, he's not going to Vegas. And now over the past 2 weeks, I've been getting story after story from people, after fans, like, oh, you might be right, dude. I'm like, yeah, I know. I told you this a month and a half ago.
So has Roondog's source, who said it 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
like he was one of the originals out there that said that. No one said anything about that.
All right, well, you guys have to do is kind of go down. You guys are heading down to the combine soon. You guys got to scout the competitions, scout who the Pats to draft, in replace of Marcus Cannon, in replace of Tom Brady, in replace of anybody. But the combine's coming up. We're sending Babs and Stafford down. Where is Indianapolis?
Yep.
What even is it?
It's the last week in February to the first day of March.
State Patties weekend.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time.
So what's your guys' whole plan? Wait, is AB going down there? Like Antonio Brown?
AB is going to the combine to meet with teams, probably evaluate his psychological.
All right.
Bullshit.
You got Babs, you need to wear your AB jersey.
Yeah, that's
coming down. We're going to interview him.
I was going to say, and then we just need a soundbite from him.
We're going to get something.
So here's my take about the NFL Combine. For the last couple of years, I've always wanted to go, and what they're doing right now is they're building up the NFL Combine to be kind of like the NFL Draft. They want and to encourage fans to come out there to Indy. I just went to Indy my first time this past year after the Cincinnati Bengals game. Little small town, the Lucas Oil Stadium, very beautiful inside there. I'm excited to bring Stafford out there. I want Stafford out there. I want to build up Stafford for the future. He doesn't like Spike King's takes with the Marcus Cannon like retirement things. He doesn't like how I come out of left field. I want to build him up for the future, and he can have more credible sources.
Someone has to call you on your bullshit eventually, Babs. I can't be the only one.
Something's gonna,
Are you guys flying Spirit?
No, we're flying. What are we flying?
Thank
United.
God, I was not
Spirit,
trying to
everyone.
crash.
But here's the thing. This is how Babs travels. This is the Babs famous backpack right here. This is all you get to bring on a plane. You don't get it.
You want to see mine? You want to see
you
mine?
only
This is
get-
what I'm bringing. Look at this. This is the only backpack I own. I'm
Stuff
fitting
it,
maybe
baby.
2 outfits in here.
You stuff
maybe.
a backpack. That's it. Like you bring one bag. You don't get bags. If you want to bring a suitcase with you, you can pay the $100. I ain't paying
Yeah,
for that.
no thanks. I'm good.
You're lucky that you're even coming out for that. Our hotel is literally a 5-minute walk from Lucas Oil. It's right there. AB saying that he's going to be there.
We're actually rooming with him, if you guys didn't know.
Hey, Ride the Wave has a connection to Antonio Brown. You know, what's funny is that we get shit on, but why is Antonio Brown tagging the Spike King in one of his posts? He never does something like that. That's another thing that goes so unnoticed by Patriots Nation and the people that follow us, and to like the big picture that AB tagged me in a post. But guess who led that? This guy right here, Rune Dog, in the 2-minute drill. They all led that together. So
and we also have a little project going with AB right now too.
yeah.
On the side that no one ever knows about too.
Yeah, I'm hoping that comes out to fruition. We actually need to talk more about that side project. But if AB's out there, guess what? We have a direct connection to AB. We will meet AB.
We're meeting AB. I'm actually convinced we're meeting AB.
Yeah, and you know what? We're gonna meet some of these younger guys, the quarterbacks, tight ends. I want to see Thaddeus Moss. I hope we run into someone like him as well too. I hope we can meet a lot of people out there. I don't know what we're gonna get for content. Bearded Babs and Spike King, I'm still in off-season mode. I'm kind of relaxed when I go out there. I'm going out there to build up for the future. I ain't going to go out there and take the show. I want the show to be all about Stafford.
I'm in full go mode right now. Mock draft is dropping tomorrow. Finished it a couple days ago. Just trying to get the logistics together. The first round is looking promising. The receiving class in this draft is unbelievable. On par with 2014, and that was an unbelievable stacked year.
That was what, the Julio AJ Green one?
No, that was Odell, Jarvis, Devontae Adams, that draft. It was like nuts. Who was
Julio? Who else came out of that draft? I remember that draft. Like that was one of the
Sammy
few
Watkins
drafts I
was
ever watched.
fourth overall, I think.
That was like the wait, what's that Vikings? Christian
Treadwell.
Ponder. Christian Ponder. I just remember that it was the Andy Dalton. No, it wasn't Andy.
Hey, give him
I just
credit. He
remember a
beat
bunch
the
of those.
Packers twice in Green Bay.
People forget.
Good to do. Anyway, but speaking of Marcus Cannon and the Combine, those two things probably should go together at some point. I was scouting tackles the past couple days because the news has been breaking for a while. We've been talking about it for a while, I guess. And there's some prospects I want you guys to keep your eyes on. I really don't believe the Patriots are going to target offensive tackle in the first round, regardless of what Cannon does. They have bigger needs, in my opinion, especially the interior defensive line. They just god-awful, in my opinion. Lawrence Guy can't play defensive tackle forever. He can't be your starter. But if they do want to address in the first round, Josh Jones out of Houston is the guy for them. He's kind of falling in the mid-tier right now. I have him right now at 31 to the Niners, but he's from Houston. He's a senior, 6'5", 311 pounds, can play on either side of the line. I think it's a slam dunk if we want to take a guy in the first round. I don't really think we do. I'm more high on these other two guys. Tristan Wirfs, I have a high second-round grade on him, but most projections have him going in the top 15, which I don't really understand. I've seen the tape, not great technique, decent footwork, but honestly, I don't think he's anything special. But if you want to take a flyer on him in the second round, wouldn't hurt. He's from Iowa. He's a junior, 6'5", 322 pounds. Solid player, like I said, but I don't really buy the hype around it for the first round conversation. And then the guy I think we'll most likely get, he's in rounds 2 to 3 right now. It depends on the combine, honestly, what he does in the combine. The biggest guy of all of them, 6'7", 328 pounds, a sophomore from Georgia, Isaiah Wilson. Now, this kid is worth the value pick at two or three, not the first round. Kind of a project player, but the thing is, we don't really have an immediate need if Cannon is staying. If Cannon does stay, we can have this guy just play behind him and win for probably 2 seasons. But if Cannon does leave, they try to thrust him into that starting role immediately. It's going to take him a while to figure it out. It will be trial by fire, but still potential in that pick. Those are the 3 guys I really like the Patriots keep their eyes on. But I do think Wilson's probably the most likely pick.
This is the reason why I'm bringing Stafford down, because I'm going to have no idea who anybody is. I do not follow college football at all. We're going to be walking around.
Actually, surprisingly enough, I don't watch college football. I don't. I just scout these guys when it comes to draft season. And I'm like, you know what? I figured out on the fly.
I was trying to boost you up, and then you just shot yourself in the foot. Right?
No, to be fair, I barely. The only college football.
I know all this stuff without watching any of the games.
Well, I feel as though college football is like different. Like I couldn't care less about college football until I got to school because like I didn't have like in New England. It's professional sports, but down south and everything, I'm not down south, but it's college sports. I'm not gonna say. I know what you're gonna say.
Penn State's a football college. Penn
State, and a basketball. We're about to be top 10 in basketball.
That's nuts.
No, but even then, like, I'm never gonna watch like Mississippi State versus like Ole Miss or something like that. Or unless it's college football playoffs or like an important game, that's when I'm interested. Or like Penn State's in the hunt and I need to see like this team. Yeah. College football also stinks.
I will say this. I'm glad I'm going back to Indy. This is Stafford's the nerd. He's gonna get all his like little ins, and we're gonna have little things about. But I want a Boston's Big Three.
You see the shirt you're wearing right now? I'm the nerd.
What are you talking about? What shirt?
You're wearing a young Gronk cutoff in the middle of
yeah. I'm not a nerd, dude. I'm just showing the guns, bro. I'm just got some shit out here, dude.
Showing the tab.
I'm repping the brand, dude. The Sunday man. All right, so I just say this. I'm excited to go to Indy because I want to go to St. Elmo's. It's a great steakhouse out there. I want to go see Lucas Oil Stadium. I want to run into Bill Belichick. Stafford's going to get his hard on for the bench press and see what these guys are going to do, how many reps they're going to put out there. Real quick, Stafford, are you a gym guy at all?
Yeah.
How much weight do you put up?
Bitch weight. Complete bitch weight. It's okay, though. I kind of just jumped into it.
All right, so if you did the bench press, could you put up 225? How many reps do you think you could do?
Maybe 1. Maybe.
That's it?
Yeah, do I get help? Do I have people like lifting the other side of the box?
You gotta do it.
Yeah, maybe.
They haven't. Stafford, this is what we're gonna do when we're out there. They have the entire combine ready to go for the fan experience. They have the bench press. They have the 40. They have the 3-cone drill. You're gonna do everything.
You got to do it.
I can't do it. I ain't doing it. No. I ain't doing it because I already know.
Talking about right now,
dude. I want the Spike King, the shotgun, a freaking Bud Latte, and then do the 40-yard dash. And
or this could be a better competition. Who can finish it first? Can Babs finish a shotgunning a beer before Stafford finishes a 40? Yeah, that would be electric competition.
I'm slow.
We need another person to film all that. I just think we have a couple days. We have a couple days in Indianapolis. We're flying to Chicago actually and driving 3 hours down. That's how I roll. That's how you keep things cheap. But we have a couple days out there. I'm excited to just get a kind of feel out for what goes on. And I think by like Saturday we'll have I don't know what. We fly back Sunday, so Friday we'll have a good time. I think Friday will be our content day, and I know Ride the Wave's going to get at least one thing that goes out there. I bet Ride the Wave gets one thing that gets shared by Bleacher Report of the check down. I bet we have something out there that.
We're bringing signs. We're bringing signs. We'll make some AB signs. We'll make some Brady DeMoss 2.0 signs. We're getting on TV at the very least, but
Brady DeMoss 2.0 will be a great sign, and I showed you that this is like a list of like security items. Like you can't bring a lot of things in there, but you know what? We get a feel out for the first day. We kind of see how things go, and we're gonna kill something.
Stafford, are you 21?
No.
His ID is.
My ID says
looks like Uber driver Stafford is carrying Babs around. Babs hammered up.
Wait a minute. Our hotel's 5 minutes away, man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like we're gonna be able to go all around.
Yeah. Maybe. Anything else football related that you want to talk about before I defend the greatest number 5 to ever be in Celtics history of all time?
One more thing. So this is in my mock draft. If you guys want to read it, it's gonna be on the website on Monday. But The Detroit Lions at number 3 are the most interesting spot in the draft, namely because 2 teams have asked to trade up to take Tua Tagovailoa. Those 2 teams, the Miami Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers one I think is the most interesting because they can theoretically just trade Cam Newton to Miami. If it doesn't work out, they just wait for Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields next year, and Carolina gets their quarterback of the future. That's the most interesting pair I see. Miami's too much of a slam dunk at 5 anyway, and I don't think the Lions should even entertain taking Tua because Matt Stafford is a good quarterback. But regardless, something to think about. Keep your eyes on those 2 names: the Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers.
You know, it's one thing I got asked the other day. Someone asked me. They said, if Tom Brady left the Patriots and the Patriots traded for Cam Newton, what would you do?
Cam Newton's a bona fide
I told them I
scrub.
would sell my season tickets right away.
That kid's a scrub. He's a loser. He's a career loser, except for 1 season. Granted, that was one of the best MVP seasons we're going to see, maybe all-time NFL history, maybe. But Cam Newton isn't good at football. He hasn't been top 10 since 2015. He's probably around 16 for me, halfway through the pack. And everybody always says, "Oh, Superman." Christian McCaffrey carries that team. Cam Newton has very little to do with that offense.
So do you think that Lamar Jackson's going to have a similar season or the rest of the career that Cam Newton did?
No, because they're different players. Lamar Jackson's the fastest player in the NFL. He's the quickest player in the NFL.
2015 had no wide receivers. Baltimore has 1 wide receiver in Hollywood Brown, but you don't even know what he's doing.
No. Well, that's
and
not
it
their
was a
scheme.
running-based team, and Cam ran the ball. And look what happens when Cam has to throw the ball. He sucks. Lamar Jackson, when he has to throw the ball, went versus the Titans. He sucked. I'm telling you, man, Lamar Jackson might have one of those careers, man, that falls in that Cam Newton.
I just don't see it because they're just different players. Cam Newton's more of a traditional quarterback while running, but Lamar Jackson's is a run-first offense. So unless he gets hurt, which I think is a very real possibility, but if he doesn't get hurt, he has a different career trajectory than Cam Newton does. Lamar Jackson won the MVP at 22 years old. He won it before. He is younger than Joe Burrow, and he won the MVP award. He has a different trajectory. This kid's going to be a Hall of Famer.
My last football take right here is that I think Tom Brady is absolutely done with the New England Patriots. I said it on Super Bowl Sunday.
What was that, a cat? Was that a cat
fight going on right now?
I heard it, and then I saw it take over the screen.
Huge cat.
Moondog's about to get murked by his cats.
That's something we all just ignored that, but that didn't happen.
Huge cat guy.
All right, go on. What we were going to say.
I fucking hate cats.
I think that Tom Brady's done with the New England Patriots. I said it on Super Bowl Sunday about his commercial. You got to give it some time. I think that the Patriots will not pick up a veteran quarterback. They'll have Stidham versus whoever they end up getting in the draft this year. And I think that if Brady truly does leave, I think the Patriots make a move for a first or second round quarterback and have Stidham versus that quarterback. And then Belichick just picks whoever ends up going for the future. I will say this, something that's been not talked about in any articles. I've been yelling at the 2-minute drill. I've been yelling at Stafford about this. Las Vegas, they have no state income tax. They have so that means if Brady is being offered $30 million a year for 2 years, he's making close to that $30 million. They also don't tax on corporations. They don't tax on inventory. So that comes into play because if he's being offered $30 million in Vegas, that could be the equivalent of being offered $34 million in Massachusetts. Like, you have to think those things out there. That does come into play, and that's actually a reason why Trent Brown really wanted to go to the Raiders, because he knew that they're going to go to Vegas. Florida does not tax on it. I was talking to Fitzy a couple days ago, and Fitzy thinks that a dark horse candidate is Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay. And I will say this, I love Fitzy. Fitzy's like, Fitzy's the mentor. Like, I looked at Fitzy 2 years ago. I've seen Fitzy my whole life. And I want to study him because I want to carry on his legacy in my own way, because he is the man. He really is. And even Fitzy saying, I think Tom Brady's out of here. It's what's feeling like that. Imagine coming from that guy like that. So
I don't really buy Tampa Bay just because I think Phillip Rivers is already going there.
I agree with you 100% on that one.
Yeah, but it is out there. It is out there. No, I'm with you.
It's out there, but why is Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay? That's not a sexy pick. That's the ultimate dark horse. I mean, my dark horse was Dallas Cowboys, and I still think the Cowboys make him an offer. If the fuck, and here's the thing, the fact that you have this little, according to Larry Fitzgerald Sr., like that, it's $30 million for 2 years, $60 million total. Another team, the Chargers, the Colts, or the Cowboys are going to make a higher offer than that. They might offer $32 million. They might offer $30 million, and maybe that's the highest he gets. Brady's worth more than $30 million.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of conjecture about this too. Like Indianapolis gets a meeting, the Giants get a meeting. Like, first of all, those two teams stink. Why would he want to go there? And the cap room isn't as good as you think it is in those two teams either. The best possible scenario is for,
The Colts have really good cap room.
No, I know, but they're not top 5 in terms of cap room where he can.
No, they are. They are. They're number 2. Like they're number 2. They're up there. Yeah, they have 90.
I read a report yesterday.
They have supposedly number 1 or number 2 best offensive line.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess I was wrong with that.
All right, Kevin Garnett deserves to have his number retired for the Celtics, and I'm here to fight about it.
Yeah, I mean, no, he doesn't have his number. He shouldn't have his number retired for the Boston Celtics.
Why? Because he only played 6 years and was only have an okay career.
You explain your side first, and then I'll explain my side after. Okay? Anybody that's listening right now, who are you gonna side with? Tyler Miller? You're gonna side with the Spiking? I have to be careful because I don't want my microphone to sound like a tornado. So go ahead. You go first.
Who were you watching on the Celtics before Kevin Garnett get there? Wally Serbiaks of the world. All those scrubs that would barely feel the winning season, that barely even kept Paul Pierce in Boston. Now, you could say, Kevin Garnett, he didn't want to come to Boston originally. Yeah, no kidding, because the Celtics stink. It was like if Kevin Durant was like, hey, I'm going to go play basketball with the Cleveland Cavaliers right now because they just got a trade or something like that. Just because that's how bad the Celtics were. You get Ray Allen through a trade, and then that's an extra piece. You're like, Paul Pierce and Ray Allen, I can now see it. He never said, I don't want to be in Boston because, I hate Boston. They were not a good team. So, the logical decision was, why would I go to play for a worse team when I have it good right now? Then they get a better piece with Ray Allen. So, he wants to get traded. He's open to get traded. Danny Ainge makes that work with Kevin McHale, who was the GM at the time, because the Celtics ties. So, even right away when that trade's happening, there's a lot of Boston Celtics ties within that. He gets to Boston, 2008 Defensive Player of the Year, first team all defense, single-handedly, obviously not single-handedly, but he changed the culture. You could argue single-handedly. He immediately got into Boston. The whole Ubuntu thing, that all started because KG, Perk, Doc Rivers, they were all coming together. I'll give Perk credit on that, who's also a must-follow on Twitter. Kendrick Perkins is so funny. But Kevin Garnett, the second he threw on a Celtics jersey, the basketball culture in Boston entirely changed. People actually cared about the Boston Celtics. 98.5 rarely would talk about them because they never watch basketball, but they read the box scores and talk about it. That's all they do. But even they were talking about basketball. Kevin Garnett was here for 6 years. Baz, what were you doing 6 years ago? You probably don't remember. You know why? Because that's a long time. 6 years is over half a decade. 6 years ago, I was 15 years old. I was probably in sophomore high school. See, I don't even know off the top of my head. 6 years is a substantial long amount of time. 2 first-team all defenses, NBA champion, defense player of the year, a second-team all NBA champion, all-star 4 of the 6 years. Like I said, change the culture. And who else would you give number 5 to that you're willing to? Because whenever you see someone like a Celtics jersey playing with a number 5 on, your first thought is, that's Kevin Garnett's number. There's no one else who should even wear that number. I'm not going to give it to some random, James Young or Etuan Moore scrub that we draft, and they get number 5 just because it's an available number. Who cares if you're running out of numbers? Sorry that we have a ton of wicked good players. And I know you're going to say the whole Lakers thing. That makes sense. That's a good argument. But the Celtics are just really good at retiring numbers. We're elite at it.
That's a quote.
We are the best franchise in the entire league at retiring numbers, and there's stats to prove it.
You're not
also,
wrong.
The argument that made me most upset, I don't know how many people, how many jerseys are retired. I forget. I didn't count the total. But a lot of people saying he wasn't a Celtic for life. He shouldn't have been retired. That doesn't matter. 9 people. I'll say 7. 9 people they played for a different team the last year of their career. So like whatever, you're a Celtic for life kind of. But 9 people, including Paul Pierce, who also has a number retired, played for several teams. The peak of Garnett's career was in Boston. Fact. You could argue Kevin Garnett, he's on the come up, but on the come up the whole way. And as soon as he gets to Boston, that skyrockets up. And then when he leaves Boston, he's like plummeting down. Kevin Garnett, we had him at the prime of his career. He produced for us. He helped Paul Pierce get his legacy built. He just Boston, Massachusetts. He is Boston basketball, and he changed the culture to today.
I got a question for you. This is just for like hindsight and everything. Do you think Paul Pierce should have had his number retired?
Yeah, absolutely. He should have his number retired.
Okay, so what's the difference between Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett in this aspect?
Okay.
The Celtics.
Yeah, that's and plus 10 years. He played over 10 years with the Boston Celtics.
Wait, did you just say? But you just say that by us drafting him, he somehow becomes a better Celtic than Kevin Garnett.
Number 1, he was drafted, and number 2, he played for 10 years with the Boston Celtics. I've always said that you should play at least 1 decade. That's like the cutoff point. 1 decade. That's what the Boston Red Sox try to do. You see, if you play with 1 decade, that's how your number gets drafted.
But those are made up rules.
No, you had your time to talk. You had your time to talk. It's my time to talk.
Those are made up rules.
My time to talk. Tyler.
Yes.
If Kevin Garnett retired right after the 2008 season when they won a championship, should his number be retired up in the rafters? One season with the Boston Celtics.
No.
But that's funny because the owner of the Boston Celtics said the second they won that championship, his number was instantly
We're not the owners.
Out there. Instant quick said
We're not the owners.
What?
We're not the owners. So why does that matter? Why is that relevant?
Why does it matter? Because exactly what I'm trying to fucking say is that the owner, the second they win 1 championship, Kevin Garnett's number is going up there no matter what.
Yeah, he's wrong.
Up there no matter what. The Boston Celtics retiring numbers is participation trophies.
No.
What I hate about that is you have, counting him right now that's coming in here, 24 guys that will be retired on the Boston Celtics. Listen, you could say they won all those championships in the 60s and you won in 70s and the 80s and they want to celebrate everybody. But if you take a look at that list, there's a couple names on there. You're like, why is that name on there? That whole list should be eliminated in half. If Kevin Garnett did exactly what he did for the Los Angeles Lakers, he did the same thing and came as that culture. And you just heard it recently. Kevin Garnett, 1 day ago, went on a podcast and said he wanted to play with Kobe. He wanted to go over there. If Kevin Garnett went and won 1 championship with Kobe Bryant, that's all he did, and accepted the Laker culture and kept that basketball, his number wouldn't be retired with the Los Angeles Lakers. If he did that with any team for 6 seasons and brought the sports and basketball culture to that team and go to 2 finals and 1, they would not retire his number anywhere else. It's only the Boston Celtics that they would end up doing that.
Do you think that the Lakers are going to retire LeBron's number when he leaves?
No.
Yes,
I
do.
No, they will not.
No, they won't.
Really?
No, they won't.
LeBron's number is going to be retired by every single team he plays for because he is LeBron James. Fact.
No, it won't be.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
That's stupid.
Okay, we'll just wait. LeBron James, he's going to go down as the best basketball player of all time. Unless he plays for like 1 year for some random team. LeBron James also brought the Lakers' whole basketball city back. But anyways, let's go back to Kevin Durant. That's a discussion for another day.
Chicago.
With Kevin Garnett, without Kevin Garnett, we would be on year 34 in a row without winning a championship. He broke a 22-year streak. Yeah,
You act
One
like
championship
since
since 1986, and you retire this guy's fucking number because he helped you win 1 championship since 1986? Are you serious?
Not that. He made people care about the Boston Celtics. About the whole Boston Celtics laughing stock before 2008. They stunk. The best thing they had was Antoine Walker and Paul Pierce.
Whoa. How long before 2008 that they were a laughing stock?
All right,
Like,
you want to check?
that's
You want
like
to check these records, or we'll check the
3
records.
years. You know that team in 2001 went to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Nets. So maybe 6 years, 7 years that they've been a laughing stock. They had series against the Pacers in 2004. Like in 2005 that they were still a playoff team. They were only a laughing stock because they're the worst team in the NBA the year before that, and they ultimately became the best team the year after that. That's why they were a laughing stock. And if you're retiring a number like Kevin Garnett, well, Kevin Garnett adopted that Celtic culture. Well, why don't you retire Rajon Rondo? Because Rondo played a part in the big three, and that he also stayed there, and he was there longer. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a second.
Because Kevin Garnett's a significantly better
is part
basketball
of the
player than
big
Rondo.
three. Shut up. Ray Allen is part of the big three. Why is it number 20 up there? You can do different things for the Celtics.
Simple answer. Rajon Rondo is not he probably is a Hall of Famer. Everyone gets in the Basketball Hall of Fame. But really, there's a huge difference in this talent between Rondo and KG. So you're not going to say that.
They're not the same player. Kevin Garnett's a significantly better basketball player.
Ray Allen, the second he got left to go to Miami, he's not going to retire there. Like, that's just a personal thing right there. Those are the two reasons. KG, it wasn't like he was forced out. Well, he technically was. He got traded. It's not saying he didn't say he wanted out. He got traded. And that trade,
Shut up.
if you want to do that, hold on.
No.
You keep saying
How
one
can you defend somebody?
You keep saying one championship. You have to look at the
Tyler.
Championship.
Without Kevin Garnett, we don't get Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Every time that we win one championship going forward, you got to retire everyone's fucking number up there. So when the Boston Celtics, and I agree, when Boston Celtics win the NBA championship, are you putting Marcus Smart's 36 up there in the rafters?
Marcus Smart isn't as good as Kevin Garnett. Why are we having this conversation?
You just said that. But, oh my God, you're saying that this guy's bringing Boston Celtic culture? That's what Marcus Smart's doing right now. And the reason why Marcus Smart's bringing that culture, Marcus Smart's carrying that, because you could say the equivalent that the Celtics culture went a little bit down. They went a little bit down the last couple of years, and they kept Smart because he's the one that gets them back into that. Anytime that someone wins a championship, all of a sudden it's going to be like their number's going to get retired. Jason Tatum, he gets one championship, 6 seasons, he disappears, goes somewhere else because he's going to end up playing for the Los Angeles Lakers later on. He's going to end up going there when his contract's up.
Number 0 is the first ballot Hall of Famer. You're comparing him to Marcus Smart?
We had Kevin Garnett.
Culture change,
we had Kevin Garnett in the peak of his career. We had retired Kevin Garnett's number before the Minnesota Timberwolves did to show that he was more valuable to our organization. When you look back at the Kevin Garnett story, what team was he most valuable for? The Boston Celtics.
The Brooklyn Nets.
One championship.
He is an NBA champion. He has changed the culture. He brought in trade. Like, he didn't do the trade. He was packaged with that trade. If he wasn't in that trade, we don't know what happens. His name attracted so much more. The ripple effect of Kevin Garnett on the basketball court, in the Celtics culture, just around the garden. Hold on.
If he was a Boston Celtic, why did he not come here at the end of his career and retire as a Boston Celtic?
He started in Minnesota. Why not go full circle?
So then he's more of a Minnesota Timberwolf than he ever is a Boston Celtic. If he wanted to be a Boston Celtic, he would have came back here. Shut up. You shut up. The Timberwolves screwed him over. And they should have retired 21 up in those rafters.
But they didn't.
And they did it because the organization's absolutely idiots, and there's something going on right there. The fact is this: Kevin Garnett next year is going into the Hall of Fame, a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I agree with you because of what he did with the Timberwolves before he did with the Celtics. The fact is that this is a publicity stunt for the Boston Celtics. They get his number up there. He goes into the Hall of Fame as a Boston Celtic. It's a screw you, fuck you over there to the Timberwolves. And you know what? Puts asses in the seats next year because if the Celtics fall short, they're like, well, you know what? We got Kevin Garnett's number being retired next year. We got something to look forward to. It's a nostalgia factor. It's like WWE. They're just relying on these guys who are 50 years old, like Bill Goldberg, and they're relying guys on Brock Lesnar because it's a nostalgia factor. That's what this Kevin Garnett thing feels like.
But the whole thing is like, I totally just lost what I was gonna say.
The standard, let me tell you, the standard of numbers being retired was thrown out the window in the 70s, like when they started retiring everybody's number. And that's why I'm not going to say what in people at home. I'm not saying that Kevin Garnett wasn't a good player. I have a Kevin Garnett jersey here for a reason. I have 2 of them here for a reason. And I believe in all that culture. It's just sad that the Boston Celtics is just a participation trophy. If you do something good, it's up there. If I'm an NBA player, and your number's retired, that's the ultimate achievement, man. That your number's hanging in the rafters, that it's up there. And the Boston Celtics, there's just too many numbers. Now you can say, well, they're a storied franchise, and that's why I made that a thing. And you can shit on it about the Lakers.
No, I like that point I said.
I mean the Lakers are one championship away from the Boston Celtics. I mean, if if you do the equivalent, and a lot of the Lakers championships have been in recent years. The Lakers are a better franchise in recent years than the Boston Celtics have been. The Boston Celtics won most of the championships in the 60s and 70s. It's been changed a little bit. Then all of a sudden, if you're going to do the Boston Celtics, let's take the Lakers for existence. You're going to retire Paul Gasol's number up there. You're going to retire Derek Fisher's number up there. I don't think it's retired right now. You might retire. I
don't think that's the same though, because the thing that you are not counting in is that no. Trust me, we know you think he only won one championship. You can say the thing over and over.
He did though.
The thing that you're not,
knows it.
The thing that you're not like bringing into the argument is every single player you're naming, Kevin Garnett is substantially better than. Pau Gasol, he was getting a wash.
It's just the fact that the Celtics, anybody that won like multiple championships in the 60s and 70s, they automatically retired. Cedric Maxwell's up there, and I don't even think he deserves to be up there in the rafters. Like
he's still doing stuff with the Celtics.
Doesn't matter that you're still doing it. So is Brian Scalabrine. Should his number be retired up there because he won a championship?
No, but you are not including the fact that Kevin Garnett was all right. Out of all the numbers retired, how many people are better than Kevin Garnett?
Larry Bird, Kevin McHale.
And even then, you could have a legitimate debate about
Bob
that.
Cousy, Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce is better than him in terms of being on that team, the longevity of that team. And he's a finals MVP.
He's a better Celtic. He's a better Celtic, correct.
Finals MVP. Did Kevin Garnett win a finals MVP? No, he never did. Okay.
Why? Because locking down on defense. He wasn't there to score 30 points a night. He was there to set the entire defensive tone to the entire team.
I think Walter Brown, like he's number one. He's retired. He was like the founder of the Celtics. Why is his number being retired? I can understand it, but why is his number retired? Build him a stat.
Red Auerbach, number 2.
Red Auerbach, number 2. Why is that retired?
That's different. Red Auerbach's probably the best executive in NBA history.
Yeah, but he didn't wear a number. That's the only thing I was like, there's no number to be retired.
Well, no, I think they probably should have done like a law ski thing for him. Just like put.
I mean, they already have his autograph on the court. Like that shouldn't have been enough.
number one, because Walter Brown, he's the number one Celtic. He's the one who started this. Number 2, Red Auerbach's the number 2 guy that meant so much to the Celtics. That's what ruins this long term, because now in the culture of the Celtics, they're going to retire. Hey, maybe that's a great selling point if you want free agents to come to the Celtics. You win a championship, stay here for 5 years, retire your number up there.
Yeah, but all of these
areas. No,
all
I
these
get what
scenarios
Babs
are based off people's made-up rules, dude. They're like, you have to play for X amount of years. You have to do X amount of stuff. You have to do this, this, and this. No, that's the rules you make up in your head. You cannot do this story of the Boston Celtics.
You're a millennial then, because
I got a good question for you, Ty.
All right.
2 years ago, was it? Yeah, 2 years ago when Anthony Davis was supposed to get traded to the Celtics.
Last year.
Okay, so what if Anthony Davis got traded to the Celtics and they won a championship and he stayed for 4 years? Would he get a freaking banner?
Because we can't play that game because we don't know how.
You can't play that game because it's kind of the same thing.
No, because we know what Kevin Garnett did
in the NBA. Comes to the Boston Celtics and they come for 1 year and they win you a championship.
But he didn't.
And he puts up all-star stats because every single year Anthony Davis will be in the all-star game no matter what he does.
Okay, but we also do not know what would happen. We can look back.
Fucking bullshit, bro, about the whole culture change. They got Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen. They automatically became the best team in the league, and you're gonna go out there and watch them and celebrate that. And then all of a sudden, they win a championship instantly. They're gonna have supporters. They're gonna have people going out there. Isaiah Thomas, why don't you retire his number? Because he brought culture and he brought fucking fans in the stands. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't understand that. I don't.
Kevin
it's
Garnett
such a biased
so much better than everybody else. I'm gonna go through. All right, we're gonna play this game because I'm gonna go through every single person the Celtics number retired. And you're gonna tell me if Kevin Garnett is better.
Kevin Garnett was better. He would have won if they won.
He got hurt. That's simple as that. That's not his fault. If you want to do this Anthony Davis thing, Anthony Davis could get in a car accident and lose his right leg right after he signs a deal with the Celtics. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. Literally anything in the world could happen if he signs here 1 year. We know what happened. We know what happened with Kevin Garnett. You know that injury stopped him. You know that if he didn't get hurt, we'd be going to 3 straight finals in a row.
Sounds like excuses.
How? How is this an excuse? All right. This is actually going to play to my point. Well, the Celtics didn't get to the finals when Kevin Garnett was out. That's pretty important. So when he's not in the lineup,
So that's a
we
reason to
lose
put a
Dwight
banner out
Howard.
there for him? Is his number retired just because they didn't
That
make the
shows
championship?
how important he is. This is gonna go back to our Dante Hightower thing. They lost the championship when Dante Hightower was out, and we wanted to retire his number too, or put him into the Patriots Hall of Fame. The impact of a player, it's not just the stats. It's not just the box scores or whatever you want to look at the game. It is the fact that Kevin Garnett came to Boston and everything changed. Literally every single thing in the Celtics changed.
But
Celtics are probably the second, third most popular sport in Boston right now, depending if you want to look at a Red Sox that can flip for it.
This is when it goes back to Babs's point that he's saying, so you're gonna retire Marcus Smart's number because he changed the culture.
No, because
He
Marcus
literally
Smart
did.
isn't as good as
Marcus
Kevin
Smart has
Garnett.
literally
Why don't you
changed
guys
the
forget
Boston
about that? I don't understand.
Marcus Smart has. Listen, can I talk for 5 seconds? Marcus Smart has changed the Boston Celtics culture. He has, and it's
Correct.
all defense, and everything goes around Smart. So if Marcus Smart and the Boston Celtics win an NBA championship because he did change the culture, should his number be retired?
No, because he's not a Hall of Fame basketball.
He's not Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett is a Hall of Fame basketball player that is getting a number retired
But
by
it
the
doesn't
team he
matter
played.
about if you're a Hall of Famer in the NBA. It's about what you've done for the team. The Boston Celtics retiring a number is not the NBA Hall of Fame. It's about what you did for the Boston Celtics and your organization.
Okay, then why have no NBA Hall of Famers?
Oh my God!
How come no?
You have
no
24 names up there, going up there. Not all 24 in the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. They're not all in there.
All right, Dennis
not all of
Johnson.
them, not every single one.
Dennis Johnson. Kevin Garnett is better than him. Bill Russell. You could give that one to Bill Russell. JoJo White, I'm taking KG. Bob Cousy, taking KG, and that's not even close. Don't even give me that.
Are you serious? Bob Cousy.
All right, so if you want to say this, the Celtics won all the championships in the 60s. That was Bob Cousy. And so if you're going to say that
there you go. It just shows you that they gave all these participation fucking things up there, and that's what happens. That's it.
You go back. Are you kidding? You say we can't count the 60s one, but now that we're talking about Bob Cousy, we're like, oh, he's Bob Cousy. Of course he's better than KG. He's playing in the 60s against no one, like you already said. So if you put Bob Cousy in today's NBA, KG would wash him. It's not even close.
How the fact that they knew
Tommy Heinsohn, KG is better than him. Tom Sanders, KG. John Havlicek, that's a toss-up, so that's good. Dave Cowens, KG is way better.
Biased.
John Nelson, KG. Bill Sharman, KG. Egg McCulkey. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. KG. Frank Ramsey, KG. Sam Jones, KG. Casey Jones, KG. Cedric Maxwell, KG. Kevin McHale, you could toss up. Larry Bird. Pierce, Reggie Lewis, which I don't get. Why?
Okay, so that's actually great. That's a great conversation right here. If you pass away while you are on a team, should your number instantly be retired?
No, that's so stupid. Like, just because you died doesn't mean that you made an impact on the organization. Like, no.
No, I don't let Killer Kev hear this because he's gonna get upset about that. This is what we were talking about the other day was just that I don't think that should happen either. I mean, what was Reggie Lewis averaging 17 points? Well, you know what? He could have been a great player. We don't know what could have been.
But he wasn't.
No,
but he wasn't
anything
because he's dead and he died.
That goes back to the Anthony Davis thing. We wouldn't know what would happen. You can't predict the future like that. We have revisionist history.
I can predict
everyone's mad that
good. And Anthony Davis is a fucking good basketball player. And
Correct.
he would have the Boston Celtics win an NBA championship. It's not if you go into a car accident, he broke his leg and he died, whatever that bullshit that you put up. It's just if Anthony Davis played for the Boston Celtics, came here for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, etc., won one NBA championship, would his stats match and would it be up there in the banners that he gets his number retired? That was the whole thing.
I say no. Because we don't know how long he would stay.
Don't suck right now.
What if Anthony Davis came in here and won an MVP? Like he had an MVP season. Like
okay,
the best
it's
season
different
ever.
though. It's still
that's
different
different.
We're not in a losing culture
yeah.
anymore. We're not in a losing culture. There's nothing to change because we're playing
The
good
Celtics
basketball.
have never been in a losing culture though. And here's the thing: is that
1999.
oh my god, it's just like you go from the Antoine Walker and Paul Pierce, and they were still a couple playoff teams. They might have had 2-3 bad seasons. They had the really, really bad season, the tank season. The tank season, they were tanking on purpose for that top pick, which they ended up trading. And Paul Pierce stayed out on purpose. Listen, the second they traded KG and Paul Pierce away, that team wasn't good anymore. There's actually the Celtics missed a couple playoffs. And then all of a sudden, the Celtics didn't have that same chemistry. Bro, you think that KG instantly, the second that this guy came in here, KG, that they've been selling out that TD Garden every single year since 2008? That's fucking bullshit, dude. There's years in 2012, 2013, 2000.
Okay. That's the fan culture. But if we're talking about the team culture
you're talking
inside,
about the biasy of them coming in, and that's where the Marcus Smart thing comes in. Because Marcus Smart came in, he adopted the KG culture. That's why KG, it should be like a KG award. It shouldn't be KG's number, because then he's doing the same exact thing KG did. Because you know what? The Boston Celtics.
No, he's not.
The same exact thing.
Really? Where's his Defensive Player of the Year award? Where's his
when
trophy?
Marcus Smart got drafted, the Celtics were in a losing streak.
And Marcus Smart crawled about by himself? No.
It leads around what
the first 4 seasons.
Marcus Smart also is not as good as Kevin Garnett. This is such a bad example. We can't compare.
No, we're talking about the culture. I'm not talking about the play. I'm just talking about the culture. You guys are saying.
Okay.
You guys
then
keep
he has
saying
the culture.
He changed the culture. He changed the culture.
Then he has the culture aspect down. Check. The checklist of what it takes to get to your number retired. Check.
Talent-wise,
does he have a Hall of Fame career? Does he have accolades? Does he have a champion?
But the Hall of Fame career comes from the Timberwolves for like 10 seasons. Like, no, you can't just say like. So if Kevin Garnett, Kevin Garnett only played 6 seasons in his entire career and it was all with the Boston Celtics, is that a Hall of Fame career? Because you're saying that he's a Hall of Famer. Is if you take the Timberwolves season, take all those seasons. Is he a Hall of Famer in those 6 seasons? No, he's not.
He's not in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Every single person gets in the Basketball Hall of Fame, and it's not even close. Like,
I actually want to make a comment on that. It's the Basketball Hall of Fame, not the NBA Hall of Fame, and they have just no standards for letting people in, like at all. No standards whatsoever. They just let whoever they want to let in. It's ridiculous.
All right. Well, the best part about this whole thing, the best part about all of this is his numbers getting retired out of the way. So everyone can make up the rules. The people who are mad because they don't like the number jersey being retired doesn't fit the rules and the mold that they have in their head, because they're not happy that you're not happy that we are celebrating one of the best players in NBA history and he's going to be immortalized as a Celtic. That's why people are mad. And that part is the craziest part. So we are mad that we retired one of the best players in NBA history's number. Like, sorry, that also happened, yes, to win us a championship, or else it would be on 3.5 decades in a row without winning one. Like, this is just absolutely absurd. Why? Like, obviously, everybody knew he was gonna get a number retired, but now that we said it, now everyone's wicked.
Here's an example for the Patriots and the different organization. I think the Patriots, the 6 Super Bowls, it's obviously the recency bias.
I think that's
but here's
call the police.
They're coming for you.
I call them all.
You said about 54 in Hightower. He adopted that from Teddy Bruschi. I just felt like that number 5 should be given to somebody that's going to adopt that Kevin Garnett culture. I wish I'm saying this right now. The Celtics ruined it years and years and years and years ago. So they're going to have to retire, because KG's number deserved to be. Does KG's number deserve to be retired on the Boston Celtics based on how they retired numbers? Yes, because that's how they retire numbers on the Boston Celtics. If he did what he did on the Boston Celtics on any other team, it does not deserve to be retired there. His number should be retired by the Timberwolves.
So what do you have more of a problem with? The way the Celtics retire numbers, or Kevin Garnett being retired?
The way. It's just the way.
Probably both.
Okay, he's more of a pawn in this, then, is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly, 100%. I've been saying that for a while, that KG, don't take anything away for what he did. He won a championship here. He brought him to 2 championships, and he did adopt that Celtic culture and accepted it after he didn't want to be traded. He got his pieces, he got his way, and he actually accepted it.
A logical way to go about business.
But at the same time, when it comes to jersey retirements, if I'm Marcus Cannon and I win 3 championships right here, why is my number not retired?
Well, the Patriots and Celtics are different organizations.
I know. But I'm just saying, like, you know, if you're the Lakers, and the Lakers have had multiple champions, just like the Boston Celtics, guys that have probably won like 3-4 championships, why are their numbers not retired up there? And that's what the Celtics do. And it's like the Indianapolis Colts. Let's just get participations banners out there.
Yeah,
Because
that's
the Celtics
ridiculous.
AFC
But
finalists.
That's
what
something
it
I'd see in a high
Oh,
school
we're gonna
gym.
see that. No, we're gonna see that at the combine. AFC finalist. That's gonna be hilarious.
I will say this. Taco Fall will have his number retired up there. Taco Fall is
Can I
a
leave this now? or-
NBA
I was gonna say.
superstar right now. Taco Fall, since Taco Fall's face has been on my arm, Taco Fall is
Yeah, you guys are
killing
I'll be
cute
right
couple.
back because I'm not listening to this bull crap.
All right, we're gonna wrap up actually. We're gonna talk about the whole All-Star Weekend festivities on Tuesday's episode, most likely with Brandon. We're running out of time. We're going a little longer than normal.
Aaron Gordon got robbed though.
Yeah,
But
simple
But
as
listen,
that.
my Taco Fall thing,
He's not gonna get his number retired.
you heard me on the conference call today. I'm just saying this. Taco Fall just being in the NBA dunk contest, like to be used as like a prop, but to be in there and to see everyone react to him, yo, he's a fan favorite and player favorite right now. And the Boston Celtics have something with him. He's here for the long term, dude. He's not going
Let's
anywhere.
text Taco and bring him to the combine with us.
All right, this has been Boston's Big Three, episode 32, presented by Ride the Wave Media, sponsored by 10100. We appreciate you listening. Any final thoughts before we wrap up? Roondog, you go first. Wait, Roondog left. There's 2 minutes left. He just dipped. Babs, any final thoughts?
No final thoughts right now. Hey, ride the wave. A lot of people hate riding the wave. Those that are listening, ride the wave. I know that our cannon take is a legitimate thing, and I actually can't wait to go to the combine. I'm hoping that all plays out. I'm really excited to go with Stafford. This might be Spike King's last hurrah before being Daddy Spike King.
Baby Babs is incoming.
Wait a minute.
No,
Stafford, any final thoughts?
That's safe for a special podcast.
Stafford,
No,
any
we're
final
not taking a
thoughts?
stage 5 shitter right now though.
Any final thoughts, Joe?
Nope.
All right. Well, my final thought is I need the listeners of the show to do me one favor. Is just to follow me on Twitter, please, at Ty Miller 508. My Twitter got deleted, and I actually needed those numbers
Why
back.
it get deleted?
DMCA. Like the music stuff, it's so stupid. But I need you to follow. And if you want to follow me, I can no longer write for Ride the Wave Media, so I started my own blog, Island Time. If you know, you know.
You wrote
don't
for Ride
know.
the Wave Media because you really never did.
I used to. But then I stopped. But now
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
on Island Time blog. Like, just please read it. Please follow me. Just share your friends. It'll go a long way. If you're listening to this and you think I am the remote, like the smallest bit entertaining, or someone you'd like to follow, just smash the follow button. Just do
This
it.
is a
Simple
pretty
as
big
that.
plug. I thought it would be like a quick jab. This is like
Like this
5-minute
is a
conversation.
substantial plug. Like I need you to follow me on Twitter. It's pretty simple. Like I'll probably do a giveaway or something that I could find to follow me on Twitter through this episode. But just follow me on Twitter, dude.
Is
I
it
need
going
to
to be
bring
a
back.
$3 gift card to McDonald's because that's all you can afford?
I have, yeah, I
I
got
can't even
paid.
afford
I
that.
work at a job that pays me just to be there, basically. Like that, I have to pay to be there. I get paid nothing. Pennsylvania minimum wage stinks out loud. All right, Roondog, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
No, I just appreciate you guys letting me on. And anytime you guys need someone and Brandon can't do it, I'm more than welcome to join you boys to talk Tyler's terrible takes of sports. And, anytime, man.
Episode 32 in the book. We'll see you next time.
The TTT tile.